Your lab is certified creature-free.
Excellent, Mr. Reed. You've done us a great favor. Now we can get things up and running again.
Your lab was, interesting. Running experiments on those creatures. What's up with that?
Oh, they're fascinating, aren't they? Convincing evidence of new branches in the evolutionary tree. Can you blame us for taking an interest?
Maybe not. But so much dead flesh down there, that's going to attract scavengers. Didn't you think about that?
Uh, hmm. Yeah, well, no. We'll be more careful in the future. Your point's taken.
Okay. I've done my part. Here's the bottle. Now you run those tests.
Uh, yes. Wait here. It shouldn't take long. We finished that analysis, sir. It's ricin,
Oh, that's
Ricin.
not a good
a
one.
highly toxic poison extracted from castor beans. It's slow acting, but absolutely fatal to humans.
Yeah, no, it's guaranteed. Even just a little bit is a guaranteed death with like even if it's identified, the doctors are just like, all right, well you got ricin poisoning, we can make you more comfortable, but you fucked. Hopefully they'd be nicer about it than that though.
So, where do you get ricin? This isn't something you can pick up from a drugstore.
No, but I do believe you
Ah,
can make it.
about that. It is rare, but we have a certain amount of it here. For study, in our poison store. Or we did. I'm afraid that must be where it came from. The label had been tampered with, but it certainly looks like ours. Where did you find it?
Crime scene. Someone was trying to poison a bunch of fish with it.
This is horrible. I need to warn everyone in the university about this.
Yeah, because see, I know that you can make it, but I don't know how hard it is to make, but I know that it is a thing that an average person, I say average, I mean obviously somebody wants to kill someone, but I'm pretty sure like you don't need much in the way of if any special equipment. Uh but to be fair, that is based off of an episode I do believe of CSI New York. So I mean, to be fair, maybe they even have a cure for it now. I don't know. On that episode, the woman coated like a BB pellet in it and shot a guy in the leg, and then that was it. He was dead. They're like, you got ricin poisoning. We found out who did it. We know exactly what's killing you, but you're still dead. So I mean,
There's some kind of cure for ricin?
I'm afraid not. Once it's in your system, it's a death sentence.
but yeah, she had made it herself. I mean, she was just like she worked at a carnival. I don't know if it was a traveling carnival or not, but either way, like she wasn't like a scientist or anything. I don't think she had any like science background, but maybe.
How can you tell if someone's been poisoned with ricin?
The symptoms take several days to develop. At first, it's like a common cold, but over several days, well, it develops into hemorrhage, internal organ failure, and death. It's not a pleasant way to die.
Who's got access to where the poison's stored?
Only Professor Westerbrook has the key. His office is upstairs, right alongside Professor Cavendish's. Professor Westerbrook's not here, though. He's been sick for the last few days. Professor Cavendish is away as well, on vacation.
Where do they live?
I'm not sure, but probably somewhere in Advent. Most of the teaching staff live there. Wait, you don't think it was one of them?
I'm working on that. Can you let me upstairs?
Well, all right. This is serious. I'll help you. Here's the key, but please don't disturb the professor's things.
I'd like to know a bit more about your professors.
What do you want to know?
I want to know more about Westerbrook.
He's the head of our department. He's been here for, well, at least 30 years. He's one of the longest serving staff we have. As you've already seen, he's particularly interested in the wild beast that recently appeared in our city.
Yeah, that's quite the unique fauna you have there.
I've no idea how he did it, but Mr. Throgmorton's men brought him live specimens for his research. He thinks he's on the verge of a breakthrough in evolutionary theory, a secret that, once revealed, will benefit all humankind.
Some secret should stay buried, 6 feet under.
You're not a man of science, are you? It's not about why, it's about what if.
What can you tell me about Professor Cavendish?
He's one of the most brilliant teachers we have here. A PhD at only 25. Just imagine. His biochemistry studies are second to none, worthy of a Nobel Prize. If he could complete his work.
What's his problem?
I don't know. There's some kind of family trouble. It's made him standoffish and irritable, and easily distracted. I hope he gets through whatever he's going through. We need his talent, especially in these dark times.
I'll see you later.
Alright. I will say it is kind of weird, and I don't really care for it, that once you get the key, the doors are just unlocked. Like, you don't have to, like, press A on them to unlock them or anything. And the only reason why I say I don't like it, there we go, is because sometimes, like, I can't remember what it was, but there was definitely, like, a key I got, and then I ended up just going through the door that it was for without even realizing that that's what I got the key for. And you might think, well, what's the difference? Well, the difference is that if I had known that's what the key was for, I probably wouldn't have went through that door first. I would have waited and went through that door last. Not that it matters too much in this game. It doesn't seem like they're really going to lock me out of anything, but you know. Okay, so this one's Westerbrooks. This is absurd. It's been 5 months and they still haven't finished repairing my office. I'm done sitting in the corridor like some kind of waiter. I won't step foot into this building again until the works are finished, or you give me Cavendish's office. You tell that to the board. I'm through with this farce. Well, I mean, he's not out in the hallway. Prize personnel only. Can't. Well, I might be able to break that though. I mean, that's definitely. I don't know what that is. I mean, it's like the internals of a human, but I don't like it's the circulation system by the looks of it, at least partly, but brothers and sisters, crossed out, too familiar. My fellow Americans, crossed out, they are Americans too. Citizens of Oakmont, how much longer will we put up with those fish-faced bast? Oh, probably bastards is what he was going for. Crossed out, those sea freaks, crossed out. How much longer will we put up with this? Those K-forsaken degenerates who call themselves the EOD, crossed out. All right, well, this guy obviously has a problem with the EOD. Oh, hello, key mold. Nope, which is it? Down.
This should be good enough to make a decent copy.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the hardest thing to make a copy. Yeah. But see, like, even out here, like, if I turn it on, they're still there. But when I was in here... Almost like there should be something in here that you can see, but... Huh. I don't know. Let's just go bust into this office.
Door won't budge.
What now?
These bottles look exactly the same as the one with the poison.
I don't know what the hell's going on with, like, the fucking lighting in this. Like, we came upstairs and it's like everything must be
These
dark.
bottles look exactly the same as the one with the poison.
Yeah, and they all say racing. Alright. He made a free spare key. George Cavendish, a professor at Oakmont University, is the poison thief. He made himself a copy of the key. And then, yeah, none of those are. Why don't I have any more things there? That's weird. I guess, should I tell this guy? Nope,
I'll
guess
see you
not.
later.
Alright, well, that's that. The fast travel was this way. Yeah. City Hall, I guess, right? Like, that's where we went to find, somebody else's address, right? Which is this one? Yeah. I think that's where we went for that. I mean, it has been a little while, but... And what did he say that he lives in Advent? And that's like all that we fucking knew, so... Citizens. Citizen records, I guess. District Advent. And the Poison Thief. Cavendish, Oakmont, Advent Central, St. Michael's Road, between Carpenter Street and Constitution Street. And he's divorced. It's Anna, his ex. Advent Central, St. Michael. Here. Carpenter and Constitution. So here, near the water. Alright. Are we just running there? Yeah, it looks like it. Although that is an awfully big gap for no fast travel to be there, which is, I mean, it's fine. It's not that far away. It's still weird, though.
All the news that's fit to print. Buy a paper, mister? Find something you like. Cheaper than the rest.
I mean, you say that, but I don't have the option to buy it. What the fuck is that thing?
That's fit to print. Buy a paper,
I think we probably went by it before, but... Like, really, what the fuck is it? Should we go look? I mean, it's clearly got a path leading up to it, so... Alright, I'm no longer going to look. If it's gonna make me spiral all around this thing, fuck it. I'm not doing that. Something like that, like we've got to be led there at some point, right? Like, look at that weird thing. Like, that's got to be important. Like, big old spike coming out the ground.
Best stuff in Oakmont. All on sale. Today only.
Alright. Okay, so I'm guessing this building over here. Okay.
The door won't budge.
Well, I don't know which apartment he's in. If you want it, take it. It's free. Okay.
The door won't budge.
So, was there a baby in it, or is it just the carriage?
The door won't budge.
So I'm having trouble deciding which is sadder. Because, I mean, if there was a baby in it and somebody took the baby, then, hey, at least the baby got taken. Well, I guess it could just be like, you know, it's like we no longer need this and take it. I was going to say, because otherwise the other option is like the baby died and they don't need it anymore. But I guess that's not necessarily
Judging
the
by
case.
the layer of dust on it, this ring hasn't been worn in a long time. keep it around?
I mean, I imagine plenty of people get rid of baby carriages all the time without, it being a sad thing. So I don't know why my mind went. Well, actually, I do know why my mind went there. It's
Door
because
won't budge.
I'm playing this game that tends to have, fairly depressing stories behind a lot of its stuff. Westerbrook usually has his lunch about 2:30, gets some soap, and always stays at the fish market. She shouldn't learn about me. New hauls of fish arrive every 2 days. An ounce per box will be enough. The guard spends most of his time on the second floor during the night. Think about a way to divert suspicions from Westerbrook. Don't want him to come to any harm. Don't forget to return the flask to the storage. And then think about plan B.
This Cavendish guy did an impressive investigation, and the EOD's in the center of all of it.
Going, gone. Body count rises as vanishings continue across Oakmont. Locals are in a panic, with most of the reported disappearances occurring in the Shells, Salvation Harbor, and Grimhaven Bay. Captain Caleb Lyons of the Oakmont Police has put out a call for information. Our evidence suggests a link between those disappearances and the charity organization EOD that has recently risen to prominence among the city's poor, said Lyons. Most of the victims seem to have either joined this group or been a recipient of their alms. We encourage anyone with information to come forward. The Chronicle reminds readers to avoid any suspicious newcomers, especially Innsmouthers, and to remain at home during evening hours. Stay alert. So a bunch of people who join the EOD or get stuff from them have went missing. But I mean, if they're helping out in poor districts, a lot of people go missing in those districts, like even in real life. I guess, I'm still thinking poor districts like, this city's poor, which is, buildings falling apart, half flooded, can't afford, have to get free fish because they can't afford food because their city is so shit. Not, like nowadays American poor where they still have like the newest iPhone. Disturbance in the Shells as fighting breaks out between locals and Innsmouthers. The cause of the conflict appeared to be the disappearance of several women, with locals accusing a group of Innsmouthers of the crime. The Oakmont police continue to investigate the vanishings, but as yet, the case remains unsolved. One source from the Shells reports that traces of fish scales and seaweed were found at multiple victims' homes, which seems to have precipitated the fight. Like a lot of places that, like, I guess the equivalent to like poor in this would be like homeless people in like modern, like nowadays.
Door won't budge.
Because like, they go missing all the time.
Fancy dresses locked away in a dark corner for a long time. I'm starting to smell some deep family trauma here.
Yeah. I mean, I think I know what I need to do here, but
I loved you. I always loved you.
oh, look at that. Anna may actually have been his ex.
You will never understand our cause. My child is blessed by the sea. I'm leaving you, George.
Oh, this isn't gonna be a good thing, is it?
George, I can't live like this anymore. There's something I have to tell you.
Okay.
I don't care what your damn EOD cult demands, Anna! I thought the child was mine. Mine!
Okay, let's see what we have here.
George,
I mean, it's
don't
gotta be this
care
order.
what
you will never understand our cause. My child is blessed by the
Okay,
sea.
so the cult brainwashed a pregnant
I'm
lady
leaving
then?
you, George.
Or
George Cavendish.
did they do
He
something
had a
worse?
wife named Anna. She had a baby that was not his, but blessed by the sea and claimed by the EOD. This caused their split.
Okay, why am I passed out now?
Who are you? What are you doing here?
Calm down. My name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator.
Right now, you look like someone who's breaking into my house. A burglar. Explain yourself.
No, Cavendish. Time for you to do some explaining. Care to tell me why you poisoned the fish at the EOD warehouse? And you better not lie to me. Oh, sorry. Is this making you angry? Yeah, two can play at that game, and believe me, I've got plenty of anger for the both of us.
How
Seemed like a weird
dare
line.
you?
I'm only going to ask politely once. Then my gun will do the talking.
Fine. Fine. Yes, it was me. But I had a good reason to do it. It all comes back to Anna.
I mean, who's Anna to you? We know that.
Oh, this should be fun. What's your good reason for poisoning innocent people? You know the EOD are feeding the hungry, don't you?
No, that's exactly the problem. They're not doing it out of charity. They do it to spread their influence and recruit new members. Some of those initiates, as they call them, vanish without a trace. And not just them. They kidnap ordinary folks, too.
And poisoning the fish would prevent this how?
Oh, you see, not everyone in this city believes in the EOD yet. They have opposition among the citizens, both rich and poor. A rumor of the EOD's fish being poisonous and several incidents would be enough to undermine the EOD by sparking fear and mistrust.
Okay, but ricin is lethal to everyone who eats it. It takes a very small amount of it to kill someone. You're a professor at a university of medicine. I can guarantee you have poisons that would have accomplished this goal without killing so many people. Now, granted, even with a different poison that isn't strictly lethal, you may still have some fatalities. I mean, that's, to be expected. But this is guaranteed fatalities.
There must be another way to deal with the EOD. Like, if their crimes are that obvious, why don't you just go to the police?
They're resourceful, those sons of hagfish. They maintain a squeaky clean image, and they're good at it. I tried going to the police. They were no help at all. And I'm not suicidal enough to make it public and take them to court.
What's Anna got to do with all this?
Weird question.
As you might have already gleaned, she was my wife.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it all starts to come together now.
The EOD robbed me of her. It all started with the free fish. We were all short on food at the time, and then they hooked her with their nonsense about the benevolent sea and greater good. I looked past it for some time, but then...
She became pregnant.
Yes. At first, I was over the moon. But then one day she came to me, that snake, and told me that the child was not mine. She said it was blessed by the sea, that it was demanded by the EOD. Doom take them! I couldn't stand it. I just couldn't.
What did she mean, blessed by the sea?
What do you think is the cause of Innsmouth syndrome in people?
Living in Innsmouth?
That K-forsaken place has nothing to do with it. It comes from breeding with monsters. These sea creatures they call Deep Ones.
Oh.
They take our women and they spoil them with their seed. Then they give birth to degenerate fish-faced offspring.
Oh.
Where did you learn all of this? This information about the EOD?
After Anna left, I had nothing. But I did have a lot of time to research Innsmouthers, the EOD, and the story behind them. It is an old and powerful organization. They appeared back in the mid-19th century in Innsmouth, and the first people with the Innsmouth syndrome started showing up around that same time.
Ah, perhaps not coincidentally.
No, of course not. And the EOD is immensely rich. The sudden rise to power of the Blackwood family happened right after they joined them.
So what's your next move?
I was interrupted and couldn't finish my task. The EOD received a fresh haul of fish, but now they're on alert and raised their guard. I understand I'm in no position to ask. But after reviewing all the facts I've presented to you, Mr. Reed, would you agree to help me?
Keep talking. Now, what is it you want from me?
Poison the rest of the fish. It's spreading, but it's not enough. The EOD trusts you enough to deal with me, so it should be simple for you. My agent inside the EOD reports that they've just received a fresh haul. That's your target.
Your agent inside the EOD. Is he fairly high up the ranks?
Ah, I see where this is going. You need something from the EOD too.
Yeah. I'm trying to find a certain person who may be held by them.
My agent can arrange that. If someone is being held by the EOD, he'll know it. It's a win-win situation.
All right. Look, I'm gonna need to think about this.
Of course. But don't be too long. I'm going to need an answer before I let you go. I hope you can understand why.
All right. Swelling, the poison with sabotage. Yeah, undermine them. George Cavendish became desperate after EOD robbed him of his wife. He's determined to save others from the same fate. He's a dangerous psychopath who won't hesitate to kill innocents to achieve his goals. I mean, I feel like both of these, outside of the titles, I feel like Desperate Savior, not correct, and Dangerous Psychopath, also, more correct. But I mean, description wise, they're both, like, the description of both of these is correct. He is dangerous, who won't hesitate to kill innocents to achieve his goal, but also his goal only came about because he was desperate after they took his wife, and he doesn't want others to share the same fate. So I mean, both of these are correct, but we have more clues anyway. Zealous servant of EOD, and she will follow any instruction without hesitation. Covering up the EOD's shady ambition to take over the city. Does honest charity work for the people of Oakmont on behalf of EOD? I mean, once again, both of these things are true. She does do charity. I guess honest might be the modifier there that makes it incorrect, but she still does charity work for the people of Oakmont on the behalf of the EOD. But they also do that charity work to cover up their shady ambition to take over the city. So if I do these two, no, still not going to give it to me. Much more going on than charity organizations. They're dirty. I know it. Whatever they're up to isn't good. Which leads us to the EOD has much more going on than charity organizations. They're dirty. Oh, whoops. I should help George Cavendish to loosen the EOD's grip on the city. But if we switch these, I should help Anna Cavendish deal with the poisoner and help save the city from starvation. So here's my thoughts, right? They are doing this in order to gain new members. They use those members, specifically the women, to then go and have sex with magical fish creatures, to then give birth to semi-humans, demi-humans, But now, to be fair, my benefactor is a demi-human crossed with, apes. And somehow, I don't know how they come about, but whatever. Um, so obviously, not good. Clearly a cult. Clearly kidnapping women in order to pimp them out to fish, which is obviously very bad. Can I condone this? Hell no. So you would think, oh, so you can't help her. But then here's the thing. The other option is to poison a bunch of fish that are being given away for free to people who have no other choice but to look for free food and kill every one of them in a very slow, painful way. It's not even like, and here's the thing. If it was like a faster poison where it was like they feel fine and then they're dead, it would be slightly more tempting. Still not hugely tempting. But I mean, it would have been like, instead of like a hell no, it just would have been a no. Like a definitely not instead of a hell no. But the fact that he's using ricin, which doesn't have a cure, or despite being a professor, like I said, he's a professor in a in a university medicine department. He's got to have access to, or could create, a different poison that would make people very sick, but could still be cured. It would achieve the same goal. People would no longer die. So, unfortunately, we are going to have to help out the, I don't know, fish pimps.
So, have you made up your mind?
I've thought about your proposition. Your methods stink, and your plan stinks. Still, the EOD is a threat, and I'm not gonna help them anymore. I'm in.
You're doing a great favor for this city, Mr. Reed. Never doubt that.
Yeah, I'm trying not to. Remind me what it is I have to do.
You need to poison the fresh haul of fish at the EOD storage. It's heavily guarded, but you'll figure out something, I've no doubt. I'll be back later. I need to see my agent. Find me after you're done. Here's the address and some ricin. Be very careful with it.
Yeah, will do. I'm not quite ready to die yet.
Alright. Now that says I can report George. But does that mean I can report George, like, to Anna? Or can I, like, pop over to the police station and report him there? Because, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think I will. I'll pop over to the police station. I doubt that it'll work because, it just seems not unlikely that'll be an option. But I want to give the game a shot to see. I mean, based on the writing so far, I'm going to assume it's not an option, but because as I said, a lot of their, like, both of those things were true for both of those decisions, and it's like, alright.
Don't waste my time, newcomer.
Yeah, that's about what I thought, and I don't think there's any. If I was gonna be able to turn him in, I can pretty much guarantee that it would be that guy that I would talk to. So, all right. Well, unsurprisingly, all right. So, let's go and talk to Anna. And we did tell her that we weren't going to kill the guy. I can only imagine that if we did something against him,
Don't be shy.
that we
Leave
probably
enough for
would have had to
everyone.
kill him. But
I found your poisoner.
See, bless you, Charlie. Thank goodness. Who is it?
Well, that's the peculiar part. It's your ex-husband, George Cavendish.
Oh. So that son of a rotten shark finally decided to show up. We'll find him. Then I'll have a word with him in person. Still, it's strange. I never thought he'd have the guts to do something like this. He was always a pushover.
You're taking this remarkably well for a woman who just found out her ex-husband is a poisoner.
He's nobody to me. The EOD is my family now, and we serve a higher purpose than he could ever grasp. My life finally has meaning. And now, we're going to relieve him of the burden of his miserable existence. You've done us all a great service, Charlie.
All right. No more messing around. Get me in touch with your Grand Poobah or whoever's in charge, now.
Easy there, Charlie. I'm a woman of my word. Go to the basement of the fish market. It's nearby. You'll find an innsmouther there by the name of Maurice. Tell him I've sent you. You'll get your answers.
About time.
Alright, basement.
There will be loss. There will be. And it is only
Okay,
fair
hello.
to be afraid.
Who are you?
Titanic forces are at work. Infinitely greater than ourselves. Unknowable. Incomprehensible. There will be sacrifice. There will be loss. There will be darkness. But these are the hallmarks of a pivotal moment in time. And each of us has a part to play.
I guess this city wouldn't be complete without a doomsday prophet.
Let me assure you, I am anything but. I am called Ebernote Blackwood, and this is the place I have chosen to share my message. Please, come to one of my full sermons.
Charles Reed. Good to meet you.
Is this like a DLC
Blackwood.
quest?
You're a member of the Grand Family.
I am indeed the last of that line, inheritor of an empty mansion and a severed history.
I'll see you around.
Yeah, alright, weird. No idea what that was about. But apparently I'm not allowed to ask about it yet, so we'll leave it at that. Oh, there it is. You know what? Just because there was a crate there, I am gonna be ready here. Because, I mean, the last time there was a crate, it was to keep bad guys out, or to keep monsters from, I'm assuming it was, anyway, to keep monsters from getting to where other people are. Alright, well, apparently I'm not allowed to shoot him, so. It was turning red, though, so that's really the only reason why. Oops. Note to Maurice, eh? Kill him. Alright. Hey, as in Anna? What a shocker. More torture tools. I'm kind of curious, though, if I had refrained from telling her that I found the torture room, if it would have ended up any differently. I somehow doubt it, but... Oh, wait, that's right, there was. Oh, nice, 3 bullets. Oh, Anna, I have
Hey,
some
hey,
words for
Mr. Reed.
you.
Do I know you, buddy?
Not yet, but I know you. I also know you're looking for a particular lady. My name's Fred. You're looking for Professor Doe, ain't that right? The scientist the Order kidnapped. I think we can help each other.
How do you mean? You know where she is?
Slow down, buddy. Helping each other is not the same as let me just tell you everything.
Nothing's for free in this city, is it? Figures. All right. Shoot.
You won't regret it. You've seen some of this city now, am I right? You've in England what's coming? I want out of the Order and the city before it hits. Trouble is, it's much easier to get into the Order than to leave. Give the slightest hint of it, you've signed your death warrant. I need somebody to get me out of the city on the quiet. And that's not an easy thing these days, my friend.
I've no idea how to help you with that.
Ain't you a detective? There are people in the city, smugglers, who know what to do. Find them. That's how you can help. See, I've heard whispers about ads in the newspaper. A new ad every week, talking about Salvation Harbor. Maybe start there.
All right, fine. I'll look into it. But your lead on the professor had better be worth it.
I know where they've got her. I can get you there. You just find me a way out fast, or I might be too dead to be any use to you.
Alright. So, unsurprisingly, Anna has disappeared. But let us go talk to Throgmorton. That's this one, right? Yeah. And see what he has to say about this. Maybe I'll go talk to him. He'll be like, "Oh yeah, we can get him out the city, no problem." You know, maybe. I don't know. I doubt it. That would be a rather weird way to do it instead of just giving us the information.
I know who's behind Professor Doe's kidnapping. It's an organization called the Esoteric Order of Dagon. Most of them
When did
stick
we
to the
learn
fish
that?
market, but they seem to have agents everywhere. Even the university.
I knew there was something fishy about the EOD, the den of those filthy Innsmouthers. I'll tear it to the ground.
Actually, most of the EOD members I met were locals. And for what it's worth, the only Innsmouther I spoke to was a nice guy. You ought to examine your prejudices.
Are you calling me a bigot, Reed?
Robert, listen. Something needs to change. You holding a grudge against Innsmouthers ain't making anything better for anyone. Those who fan the flames of hatred always end up burnt in the end.
They killed my son, for Kay's sake!
I know. But what did you do to prevent it? You made yourself their enemy instead of helping them. What did you expect would happen? You chose to brand them newcomers and leave them to suffer just like you did with me. The only difference is that I'm useful to you. No wonder desperate Innsmouthers would seek refuge from a radical organization like the EOD. They had nowhere else to turn.
I shall think about what you've said.
Back to business. I'll continue my search for Professor Doe. I have a promising lead. You have anything else to tell me?
Your task remains the same. Find Harriet and bring her back. You say we are dealing with an entire organization? Well, I have something for you that might help our cause should things take a turn. Now leave. I've heard enough from you.
Oh, got the shotgun. And started a new case. Alright, so fathers and sons. And we got a shotgun that takes, did I say 3 gunpowder and metal scrap? 3 metal scrap, 2 shell casings, and 3 gunpowder to make a single shotgun shell. Good lord. That thing better fucking decimate anything that I even graze with it. Like fucking hell. That is a lot of materials. And really? Couldn't even load it, eh? Couldn't even load it. Anyway. I think this does clean the streets with wider shotgun spread and improve damage. Alright. Yeah, I don't know how much I'll use it. I feel like the next big guy that we come across, I'll use it. But other than those guys, I don't. I mean, maybe the dogs. It would probably be. Well, I don't know if that would be any better for the dog things or not. But yeah. Secretly use advertisements. Most likely it's a new message each week. Alright. Well, whatever. We'll figure that out next time when we start this. I imagine we can go to the newspaper and look up the ads, but for now, that'll be it. We've got one step closer. We've discovered. See, now when I had the option to ask him about the order, I just assumed he was talking about the EOD. Apparently, he would have given us a whole spiel about the esoteric order of Dagon and not just everyone's whatever the fuck they were saying. But the game didn't really make that clear that he was talking about that. I mean, unless because all he called them was the order, right? Like he didn't call them, like he didn't say Dagon at all. So like I don't even know how the fuck Reed learned about the esoteric order of Dagon. Dagon sounds familiar though. I know that name. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you next week for more.